Hello. Okay. First off, my sincere apologies. This video is extremely overdue. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is the review on a... not working. There we go. This little guy. So this is going to be the Luna Generation 2 ring. Extremely overdue, and again, my apologies. I know I've had a few comments on this asking what's the update. Originally, I think my goal was to do like a week update or whatever, what it's like living with the Luna Ring 2 for a week, and that turned into a month, which turned into 2 months, which turned into 3 months, which turned into 4 months, I think that we're at. And it's every single excuse in the book: procrastinating, being lazy, blah, 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 blah. So let's kind of get into it. And first and foremost, I am not a professional reviewer to any degree at all. This is actually my first review, so please bear with me, but maybe that will be kind of refreshing. So what I want to do the first is give you the TLDR or TLDW, I guess, on if I recommend buying this. And this is coming from a fitness professional, and I'd have to say, probably not. And then let's kind of first break down. And also, disclaimer here, I'm doing this in one go. I have no notes, I have nothing, okay? Every time I'm like, all right, let's log some notes. Then I start overwhelming myself and I'm like, let's put it off. So I'm just like, fuck it, let's do this. One take, one go, get it out there, and that's what you get. You get what you get. So let me first explain kind of why I wanted this, kind of the use case I was looking for. So if you watch my unboxing video, which I'll try to link it over here, I did go over this. So I've been running with a Garmin for the last couple years. Before that, I've done Fitbit. I've pretty much done everything: Fitbit, Apple Watches, etc., etc. The reason why I was interested in this is, one, just because I am a fitness tech nerd per se. I enjoy this stuff. I like spending my money on things that I probably don't need. But it's also valuable to me to figure out kind of, again, value and use cases for potential clients and whatnot, because everyone's interested in these doodads and gadgets and whatnots. And for me, in this, I do the same thing with my coaching business. Is my kind of slogan, tagline, brief elevator pitch is kind of like, let me kind of nerd out on these things so I can figure out a way to make this very digestible for you and to sift through all the shit. There's so much fucking information and content now. And luckily I enjoy watching videos. Even when I work, I watch fitness videos. I listen to fitness podcasts while I work out and go for walks and stuff like that. So this is already an obsession of mine. So if I can take my obsession and again, make it digestible and give you like good use cases for this, that's kind of what I'm trying to do with this. So that's what I'm doing with this kind of fitness tracker. So that's kind of number one. Then number two is my tattoos. I got tattoos, all right? Because I'm like a cool guy, right? It fucked up with the heart rate sensor, okay? And for any of you, they're like, oh, did you try, going through my desk really quick. Edie, just get epoxy stickers. I have them. Didn't really work. It made it a little bit better, but it didn't really work. So when I can't have all-time heart rate, then I lose a lot of different kind of data points, sleep, HRV, all these different things as well. So I was trying to kind of figure out ways of like, well, how can I do this and still get some of these data without always having to wear like my chest strap and blah, 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 blah. And since I'm a cool guy, I'm like, ooh, rings are kind of cool, right? And this is my way to kind of dip my toes in the if rings look cool on me as well. So dumb. So that was also another reason why. So then I decided, you know what? I watched the video, I don't know, 6 months ago of CES. I saw that Luna was coming out with their next generation. They didn't have a subscription model. So I said, fuck it, let's do it. So I was one of the early people. It got delayed a million times, like, that. And then I finally got it and started using it. So that is, let me see if I'm missing anything. So nerd, Garmin watch kind of doesn't work on a lot of different things because of my tattoos. And also, I know you can say, why don't you just switch it to your right wrist or whatever, because I have small ones, but I don't have many tattoos. It just feels weird. I'm sorry, it just feels weird. I've worn watches for a very, very long time. I'm a big watch person. I'll even put up videos of me being a kid wearing watches on my left side, so it feels very odd on my right side, okay? So I just don't like doing it, even though that probably would have been the smarter idea and cheaper idea and more accurate idea, but whatever. I didn't do it, so here we are. All right, so we'll fast forward after being delayed a million times. finally got the Luna ring, excited to use it. And then kind of my first experience with it, and this did kind of, just being honest, muddy the waters a little bit and put a bad taste in my mouth, just wasn't great. The first night I wore this for my sleep, because that's probably the main use case of it, honestly, is tracking my sleeps and noticing trends. And I like to experiment around with different supplements and different things so I can see, again, all right, this supplement did this, blah, 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 blah. The first night I wore this, and at the time we had pretty much a fresh puppy. Put a picture of him. There's Mr. Handsome.
Just 1 week in,
woke us up,
Mr.
my girlfriend and I, twice in the middle of the night. So shit sleep, okay? Horrible fucking sleep. One of the worst nights of sleep I ever had. And this fucking thing gave me like a 96 or something. So right off the bat, I was kind of like extremely skeptical. And then I've run into inaccuracies from my Garmin watch, mainly through steps. And this is where I wish I had more data points of like sleep, and I actually wore this on my right wrist so I can see sleep differences and stuff. But again, I'm not that guy. Go to Quantified Scientist YouTube channel, go to another guy that's gonna give you all this information. I'm just gonna give you a nice kind of summary, and I need to speed it up here because I'm already fucking rambling like an idiot, taking too long. First night of sleep, one of the worst sleeps of my night, gave me like a 97, okay? And unfortunately, that trend kind of continued. I do think it's either way too nice or way too mean, for lack of smarter terminology here. So with sleep, I'm like almost always in the mid 90s. And when I didn't have tattoos on my wrist and wore this, almost never was I north of 90. But like every single fucking night. So to be honest, I really have not looked at the fucking Luna app in like ever. Because it's like throwaway. I don't even know why I really wear it at this point in time, because I'm not checking anything, all right? And there's a giant discrepancy between step count of my Garmin and this. I have a screenshot I went for, and this was a couple months ago. I went for ended up being like a 6 or 7 mile trail run, all right? And that's, GPS located, blah, 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 with my Garmin watch. I think at the end of the day, my Garmin had me at like 20,000 steps. This had me at like 5 or 6. Dude, that's not like, that is such a huge margin of error that, again, these things just kept stacking where I'm just like, this data is almost just extremely unuseful for me. I mean, to be honest, like it was so off with so many of these things based, again, sleep, steps, all this other stuff, that I'm like, I don't even know if I can trust this at all with any type of trends whatsoever. So that led me to, and this is why it's kind of funny, is I still wear it every day. And again, I don't know if it's because I think it looks cool, fashion statement or whatever. I never open up the app because I don't think it's gonna be super duper accurate. And I'll even go, because I have my iPad on my Garmin, and then I'll have pulled this up with the Luna, and we'll just go over some dates. And this is mainly steps. And this is why, again, this is not a perfect comparison, because I should have been wearing this on my right wrist and gotten all the different data. But again, this is not this style of video. This is just something kind of simple, quick to get to the point. But almost every single day was just off by a lot. So let's do this. I'm gonna go Garmin. So this is just a random date, July 2nd, Wednesday. Garmin has me at 15,000 steps. Let's see where this one's here. And again, I'm doing this all live, so you're gonna have to pause and wait. So let's see, July 2nd. Wednesday, July 2nd. Okay. Oh, and also while I'm pulling this up, another thing that pissed me off is, one, right off the bat, they don't recommend working out with this, okay? Or I guess I should say lifting weights with this. So already I was kind of annoyed because, again, because the heart rate doesn't work on this, I like to have the heart rate data while I'm working out. So that was useless because they don't recommend, which I should have known, because a bar in your hand, it can bend it. So that was already annoying of like, okay, well, one of the big reasons why I wanted to use this to get some heart rate data from my like strength training workouts and stuff like that, because when I run, I normally wear the heart strap or whatever. They don't even recommend it. So then it was like, okay, cool. It's useless for a lot of my strength training workouts, which is freaking annoying, but is what it is. And then there's something else, it'll come to me. But yeah, so let's go July. Okay, so this day, pretty close actually. Garmin's got me at 15,960. This has me at 14,000, okay? So that one's pretty close. Let's go to next day, Thursday. Garmin has me at 14,800. This has me at 12,000. Friday, July 5th. Garmin has me at 10,000. Did a Denver track running, and I remember this date. Garmin has me at about 10,000 steps. This has me at 5,700, okay? And I remember this date specifically, and I'll include one of these videos because one of them I did record live because I was just fucking annoyed in the moment. I started a workout, and this has happened every single time, and I haven't tried in the last few months. I tried tracking some of my running workouts because, of course, the auto workout feature just didn't work. When I did that 7-8 mile trail run, it didn't auto catch a run at all. Crazy. So then I'm like, well, fuck, that's annoying. My goal wasn't to have to start workouts every single time. I thought the technology or whatever would be good enough to kind of sense it. So then I said, all right, let me just track because I wanted to do that so I'd have these data points. I'm gonna start on my Garmin, I'm gonna start on the Lunar Ring. The Lunar Ring crashed every single fucking time. It did it to me like 3 or 4 times in a row, and then I just stopped doing it. I talked back and forth with support. I don't even know what they ended up doing. I think they maybe gave me a firmware update. I still didn't work, so then I just kind of gave up on it. Whew. All right, I just got done running. Yeah, I just got back from a run here, and I needed to report because I'm doing this kind of 1 week. It's about 2 weeks for the Lunar Ring. It has not been auto-detecting my workouts at all. Trying not to be like unhappy, but I've been a bit unhappy with this, I'll be honest. So what I've been doing with my runs specifically is I've been trying to start a run while I start my Garmin run at the same time with my heart rate strap, so we can kind of see the differences, discern between the two, see how accurate they are based on the heart rate strap, which should be like the most accurate. Hey, look at this, stuck loading, stuck loading, stuck loading. It did this with my track workout last Friday, and it just kept loading. I would try to like soft close the app, kept loading, kept loading, kept loading, kept loading. I let it go for like 5 minutes. And then I eventually closed out of the app and it was gone. So now it's happening again. Yeah, so I don't know if it's the heat or what's going on, but this is fucking bugging the living shit out of me that the app seems to fucking crash or get bogged down. And I'm just getting a little confused on what this thing is for. I don't know if this has kind of a like loss of identity, or maybe I'm just not the average consumer of this watch and it's just a lot more casual, which is kind of what I'm thinking. But I have some thoughts on that as well too, but I'm gonna leave that for the fucking main video. Yeah, so far not so good, unfortunately, and it has been running through my head of returning this thing. I'll probably give it another week, but if it keeps going anything like it's doing right now, and if I don't get a serious firmware update or something like that, which support has been messaging me on Instagram because I saw this because I posted about it, then I will most likely return this because I just have almost zero use case at this point in time. All right, back to the video. So that's where, unfortunately, and again, please take this with a grain of salt. I am just one guy. I'm one data point. You are not me. I am not you or whatever, and I mean that in the most literal sense. There's people, if you go on like the Lunar Ring subreddit, that really enjoy it, okay? But again, my experience with it just has not been great. And you can see as I'm stacking up these things of like the sleep on one of the worst nights gave me such a good sleep score. Almost every single sleep score I have is in the fucking 90s when they were almost never in the 90s. That's crazy. Steps are, I'd probably say off between, on the best end, like I was reading 10-15% all the way up to like 300% off. It was failing and wasn't allowing me to save any of my running workouts, so I couldn't even get that. So then I just started getting kind of like, well, what is the use case here? Where is the value? And I don't really know. I don't really know. So again, if you have any recommendations for me, I did just update to the latest firmware that came out not that long ago, so maybe it'll get better. But as of right now, I'm really not looking at any of the data in the Lunar Ring because I just don't really trust it. And again, maybe this is an issue with me and my, again, not to reuse a use case a million times, but maybe I need better use cases or more realistic or practical use cases for the Lunar Ring. And I'm too kind of tainted by Garmin and thinking it should do the exact same thing with Garmin. But again, this is just me word salading a bunch of shit at you for you to just kind of ponder on. But for me, again, sleep tracking has not been the greatest with it. Activity tracking has not been the greatest with it. Again, I can't even do any of my workouts or strength training with it because they don't recommend it because you can bend it or break it or whatever. So then that's kind of useless. And that's probably my biggest use case, and it's just not super great with that. readiness, and because of that, do I trust readiness scores to maybe program around? Not really, because I'll see some people do that, like in the fitness space, they will plan like their higher intensity workouts and stuff like that around what the number says. Don't trust it enough to do that. Again, I'm just scrolling through the different stuff. Activity, it's all over the place. Like I said, I will send screenshots over of the day where it's like so different, and I'll find other ones where it's just like numerous hundreds of percentages off from my Garmin. And maybe it's my Garmin off, okay? I'll play devil's advocate. I don't really know, but because Garmin's been around for so long, and it seems to be somewhat of a gold standard and tried and trusted, whatever, I do have a little bit more faith in it. Stress stuff, I don't know, and because of activity and some of the other things being off, then, and maybe it's an unfair assumption, I do assume that everything's gonna, or like the stress or any of the like allostatic loads, so just kind of the sum of all stresses in your life, I just assume it's gonna be off. But again, it's like, before you buy any of these fitness bands, activity trackers, whatever, whether it's Luna, Aura, Fitbit, Coros, whatever, like kind of try to, I would recommend trying to figure out what is use case. Take a shot if he says use case again. The kind of use case, what you're trying to do with it, all right? Is it to hold you accountable to get your steps or close your rings or whatever? Is it to track, or is it to track trends in your sleep so you're able to build habits around like happy, healthy sleep hygiene habits, okay? Because remember, data is just data. The goal is to do something with data. It's a means to an end, okay? The goal is to use this to change habits around getting the score up, okay? I see a lot of people just tracking data just for the sake of tracking, when it's kind of like, that's kind of just useless information. I think it can just bog you down at a certain point. So for me, I did kind of lose my use case with it. Now, I still would recommend watch other videos, go to the Luna subreddit, hear what other people have to say. But unfortunately, my recommendation is I don't know if I can recommend it. I still would probably go off of recommend a Garmin or an Apple Watch or one of those other things over the rings right now. But I do think, based on, and again, if you haven't watched any of the quantified scientist videos, because he breaks down everything, he's super duper smart. I'm a dumb guy. Watch some of his videos. They are dry and long, but he will be able to point you in the right direction of, if you're really, really focused on the data point, having the most accurate data points. He's got great videos for that. But for me, fortunately, I can't say I can fully endorse this guy. I wish it was the other way, because I really wanted to love this. And I'll still try. Again, I'm pretty much stuck with it, I believe. So I'm still gonna kind of try. Maybe there'll be different firmware updates and stuff like that. I am interested in trying other gadgets just because I like spending my money on shit that I don't need. But that's all I got for you. Appreciate anyone that watched it this long, because I know I just jumped around everywhere. There's not good bullet points. I should have done that, but you know what? It is what it is. There's your video. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. If there's anything else that you want to see from me, comment below, shoot me a message, whatever. If you're interested in coaching, do the same. That is my kind of bread and butter. I just do this stuff for fun. And that's it, guys. All right. Peace out.